Hello.
Hi, everybody.
This is Caroline.
And this is Megan.
And I am so excited to announce our next guest, who is my best friend and my husband. And his name is Jacob Larson.
I thought I was your best friend.
Best guy friend, Megan.
We have
Best
relationship problems on
Yeah.
live. No, it's not live.
This isn't live.
I think you have
unrecorded
relationship problems with a
content.
lot of people then, because we have relationship problems. So.
Yeah, Jacob and I always fight, but we have the best intentions. Okay, Jacob.
Hi, my name is Jacob Larson. Thank you so much for having me. I forgot what I needed to say already. I'm from Denver, Colorado. Not originally. I was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota, but lived here for 15 years. And you can find me at jacoblarsonband.com or Jacob Larson at Jacob Larson Band on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I'm in a band called the Jacob Larson Band. That sounds, if you couldn't figure that out already. And we do funk and R&B. And yeah, I don't know. You're both looking at me like I'm supposed to be saying something else. But
Perfect.
I was just going to say you're really full of yourself naming your band Jacob Larson Band.
Well, what else should I call it?
The Funky Fresh 5. Are there 5 of you?
How long have you been writing songs?
I've been writing songs since I started. So I started writing songs later because I was I have mostly done cover music for my whole life. But when I was like 15 or 16 is when I started writing music. Like when I started like working on like my music and my sound was when I was 15 or 16.
What prompted you to do that?
I really thought that I was like I was ready, and I had found I hadn't found a sound, but I had found like an outlet to be able to do that. And I the drummer in my band is the producer and my co-writer of my first EP that I released. So I just kind of had like the outlet and like the right time to do it. And yeah, I think it's kind of sprouted from there. I'm ready, Megan.
All right. I'm curious to know.
Are you?
I'm really curious to know how often you write original songs for your band and for your set.
So my band is mostly cover music.
Right.
Like I said earlier. And so I've kind of made like two forms or like two kinds of my band. One of my band is like a huge 10-piece funk band that plays like dance music and covers. And then my other band is like more, it's like 7 or 8 pieces, and it's my original music and then covers that we've taken and kind of made our own in a way.
Yes.
And like Superstition by Stevie Wonder, we do a really, really drastic cover of that song. Like it's you wouldn't be able to recognize it until the lyrics come in. And so just stuff like that, really. And just songs that I really think like fit what I want to say, like cover wise, like cover music that I've like picked and for the meaning and for like meaning that it means. Wow, that sounded good. For what it means to me and like the meaning that it has. And that was really redundant, but that's meaning.
And you do a lot of arranging then for your
I do. Yeah, I love arranging cover music and like putting it into medleys and putting it into like transitions and and just kind of changing the covers that I do, because a lot of them are really popular. So it's fun to kind of see what you can do with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. So how would you say that, because Megan is writing with a band now, but I never write with a band in mind. I just write solo with piano or with guitar occasionally. How would you say that writing for a band is different than writing for solo?
I think there's a lot more kind of like I don't want to say like moving parts, because I don't want to say that it's more difficult to do that than writing just solo, but like there are a lot of moving parts. Like when I write, I always start, like if I'm writing a song, that it like is intended for me to play live. I always start with like a drum beat and then bass line and then kind of build my way up from there. So I forgot the question, but I think that
How you
I don't know if
how
that
do you
answers-
write songs for your
Oh
band?
yeah. Great. Yeah, no, yeah. So just like I always start at like kind of like the bottom, I guess, like what I think of first.
Mhm.
I always start with drums, like a drum beat, and then even if it's just like a sample or whatever. Not a sample, but
Just like a basic beat.
yeah, like I pick like a sample in Logic or GarageBand and then just like put that under it and then just like build from there and then replace the drum beat later with something.
That's really
My own.
cool.
Yeah.
Because I've never really looked at songwriting like that.
Mm.
Like, I almost that's cool because
Yeah, right. I don't know. It's easier for me to. I've never written a song like starting with the lyrics.
lyrics, yeah.
Like, I
so
always-
lyrics are like your last
Yeah,
touch.
like I know what I want to say. I usually that's a lie. I usually start with the title. So like or it's a title or bass line, and like I build off that title because I don't and like I want the music that I write to it to like fit what I want the lyrics to say. So like I have like an outline of what I want the lyrics to say,
That's cool.
but then I'll build like the music part around that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
We do some of that in the songwriting program is writing from titles.
Yeah, it really like gets you to branch out or just like starting from it's almost like a word web that you use to like
Oh my
start
gosh,
writing paragraphs and
yes.
stuff. Yeah. that we all learned word web that we all used to do in like third grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like taking like the title and then just like creating like this whole big web of words or phrases or lines or whatever.
Oh my God, love that. Well, that kind of
Yeah.
answered our next question, which was
Yeah.
what's your go-to writing process?
Yeah,
So like
that's-
title work. That's cool.
That's kind of yeah, and in the co-writing that I've done in the past that I've actually like released on like on records or on a record I only released at least one has always been for the most part me my co-writer having some kind of shell or outline of the instrumental part, like the music, and then me adding to that, and then us kind of building both parts together. So, yeah.
That's awesome. So moving on to lyrics and form.
Love that.
What perspective do you usually write in? Is it first person, third person?
It's been a mix of two things. It's been a mix. It kind of depends what I'm writing about. Like if I'm writing about a personal experience, obviously it's going to be in first person. But but I feel like a lot of funk is written in third person. Like, hey, like let's groove tonight, or that was a cheesy Earth, Wind and Fire plug. not that they needed my plug, but but it's very like, hey, like let's go party or let's do this or but then like songs that but then I've also found it really interesting to take a movie or like a TV show that you like or whatever and a scenario in that and then writing music from another person's perspective. Oh, so that's like what the newest thing that I've been doing occasionally I'll write with like just piano and me and that is mostly like more dark stuff that like I wouldn't really necessarily perform with my band. Like,
also, I
like
just love
don't
that you
show
write
to anybody.
movie themes.
Yeah,
Like,
totally. Or like
time.
like post-apocalyptic shit, like Walking Dead, like has great and have great depressing themes in it.
Yep, honestly. So do you usually write in like classic funk forms, and what are those forms of funk?
Well, so what I have out right now is a lot. It's kind of like a cluster in a way where there's 4 original tunes on it and then 1 cover song, and each song that I wrote is very like they're very different in genre. Like they kind of I was still kind of trying to find my sound, but it always started with it was all the songs are like verse chorus, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, or like
Yeah.
one of them has like verse, chorus, or like the chorus doesn't come in for a while. It's like verse and like a horn interlude. So it kind of differs, but yeah, for the most part, just like a standard verse chorus form.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking about because like AABA has been coming up in my brain a lot recently, and like
Totally.
I was just wondering if funk does that, but
Yeah, I think it kind of varies just like any other genre would, because there's songs that are like very like strophic and they just play the same thing over and over again. And there's others that are like verse chorus, and then there's others that are like, I don't know, like Jungle Boogie by Kool and the Gang comes to mind, where like it's kind of just like two parts. Like you have like the get down, and then like the Jungle Boogie. It's like the two main like hooks or whatever. But then you have like that, like that weird or not weird, but like that horn line or like pentatonic line that that's yeah. So I don't even know what to call that. Like, yeah, but
so. Since you perform with a band for your live sets, do you consider yourself more of a performer rather than a songwriter?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I definitely think I would classify myself more as like a performer, just because, or like entertainer. That's not supposed to sound like douchey, but like to entertain people and to get them to like dance and enjoy. What you said, I didn't even hear
what
that.
kind of entertainment?
Oh my god, where people, I don't know, like I want when I have a show at like a club or whatever, I wanna like get people to enjoy themselves and to dance and but then I don't know, yeah, because then when like I perform my originals, I want to be like, I want myself to come more across as like an artist and not necessarily like a performer.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think there's a balance between being an artist and being a songwriter. I don't like. Yeah, you have to stay like true to what you want to say and what you want to write when you're like while being an artist. So
Definitely. So speaking of being true to yourself, nice
goody.
segue. So
I set that up for you, Caroline.
great planning. So we've talked a lot about how you are one of the only LGBTQ plus performers in the funk genre, or out LGBTQ plus performers.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think out is the big thing. Well, I don't know. Like I've been out for. I came out like when I was 18 until like now when I'm 20 now, and I've been in the funk scene here longer than that, and I just don't know a lot of people that are in the LGBT community, or even like, yeah, like I just don't know a lot of queer people in the funk scene. That's not to say that there aren't any. Like, definitely not trying to say that. But then you also have like famous artists like I mean, Prince was always really open and kind of fluid about his sexuality, and that's more in like the funk kind of thing. But a lot of funk music talks about, it's a guy or a girl talking about like a guy talking about a girl's body, or so like I do the song Brick House, for example, and that has a lot of like innuendos and that kind of thing in it, like towards a woman's body, and I cannot relate to that at all, obviously, but like but so I don't know, I think a lot of funk is like sexualized in that way of like, let's have a good time, and like Bruno Mars is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, I don't want to say that I'm like the only like LGBT person in the funk scene that's out, but I just don't see a lot of the same people, like, or people in my scene, like in the funk scene, that are queer. Yeah.
Has that impacted your music, or is there pressure on you to like be out and be open, or to not be out and not be open in that sense?
I don't know if there's pressure. But because obviously I was a lot younger when I started being more immersed in that scene. So I was still like completely questioning who I was. But then I wasn't really, but then when I came out, I really wasn't afraid to like start just talking about it in like if I had like a boyfriend or whatever, like wasn't really afraid to talk about it with my peers in the scene because I'd never talked to them about that, and I think to about anybody. So I think they kind of had an idea that I was queer, but I didn't really see any pressure when I came out or anything like that. I just kind of just do my thing and have a relationship with them, and yeah.
Exactly. As it should be.
Yeah.
So I know one of your biggest influences is Stevie Wonder,
Mm-hmm.
but I want to know who are your other biggest influences, and then who are some of your favorite current songwriters or bands?
Yeah, totally. So I was trying to think about that question a lot, and it's because like I'm a nerd when it comes to vocals. Obviously, like somebody with like good vocals, I don't really care what music you play or write. Like you're just a really great vocalist, or like a song, or like from like a songwriter, you're just a really great songwriter. Or so when it comes to like my genre, like Earth, Wind and Fire and Stevie Wonder, obviously, and there's a band that's like on the rise. They're called the Main Squeeze, and they just have really like they're just like they're kind of cool because they're like rock and funk. Like they do a little bit of both, and sometimes they mesh the two. They're really cool. But then in terms of like songwriting, I love Bishop Briggs. She's like
she's an icon.
She's like
Agreed.
she's like my queen. I love her. And I really love Ariana Grande too. Like in terms of vocally, I get like if I'm switching like vocally, like Ariana Grande, Brendan Urie, I like. Yeah, can't like. He's crazy, and Christina Aguilera too. Recently, listening to more of her stuff, she's crazy in terms of what she can do with her voice. So I know I kind of like break it down into those kinds of categories, I guess.
So what are your future goals as a performer and a songwriter? Do you see yourself continuing to write your own songs for your band?
Yeah. I've also not, I don't know if question is the right word, but like gone back and forth with that because obviously not all artists write their own music, but and a lot of people have done that for years, like Aretha Franklin or fill in the blank, and a lot of pop stars. But I don't know. I always see myself writing my own music though, because I think like I have something to say and I want to express that in my music, and I don't want anybody to do it for me, and I don't want that to sound like arrogant or cheesy, but like I don't know. Yeah, but where in terms of where I'm like what my goals are, I don't know, like I really love the music business side as well, so I'd love to own my own business in some kind of industry, like in some part of the music industry, but in terms of performing, I just want to keep making music and do my thing and perform and
preach it,
and and I would love to experience what touring's like. I don't think it's as like, I think touring is really fulfilling in terms of meeting people and having connections and meeting people that like your music, but it's definitely grueling. Like you're going city to city every day and like in a bus for hours and hours and hours. So I'd love to perform and own my own company is the short answer.
Yes, we love that. Yes.
Jacob already low-key owns his own company, which I don't know if he's going to mention.
It's not like,
but he has his own company.
It's just for my music. Yeah, because
he's an icon.
all the musicians in my band, I like hire. Like I have like my regular people that like are my first
his
calls.
regulars,
but
his people.
Stop.
We'll call your people.
My regular musicians.
We'll have our people call your people,
and we'll get lunch.
I have like my regular people that I call that, and that have been playing with me for years. But I hire them all, like they're independently contracted. So, that requires me to have a business, like have my own business to pay them.
That's valid. People need to get paid.
Yeah, people need to be paid.
Pay your musicians,
Like,
people.
I really realized, like, it's been like eye-opening being in music school and being in music business school of how important doing things like by the book are, and like doing it, like covering all your grounds and paying people in the right way, and paying people out of a business account and that, and just like doing taxes and just like all different things that can go wrong and easy ways to cover yourself.
Definitely.
So
Jacob is really smart.
So smart. It's just really cool to see you be like a 20-year-old human, like, and you already have like an album out, which is really fantastic, by the way, and just like playing all these shows all the time, like having your own, people, your regular peeps. Like, you're just like a go-getter, and I just love that about you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's learned a lot. It's taken like a second to get there, but yeah, it's fun. I like it.
So speaking of your album, right now we're going to put in a song from your album for our listeners' enjoyment.
Yeah.
What song are you going to have us put in there, Jacob?
All right, so you're going to hear the title track of my EP that I released last year. It's called Aftershock, and and it's like kind of electronic, kind of poppy, but then kind of has its funk. It's some funky vibes in there. The next album's not going to sound like this, though. It's going to sound a lot different, which is weird. But this is definitely, like, there's a reason it's a title track. So
that was a great description.
Yeah, that was terrible. This
I'm
is a
sure
song.
Everyone knows what to expect.
So this is Aftershock, and it's like electro funky kind of pop. It's about. I'm gonna tell you what it's about now. It's gonna tell you what it's about, because I don't know what it sounds like, and it's about like not seeing somebody for who they really are, or like and like taking their like quote unquote mask off and seeing who they are.
That. Oh, I'm so excited.
Here is Aftershock.
When the lights go down, I close my mind. I ask myself, am I too blind to see that she is way too far? I'm short of breath, I'm coming close, and finally she is exposed. It's time to reach for the highest star. Oh, there's something lurking, won't let them fool me. And when the mask comes off, it's gonna send me into aftershock. Aftershock, aftershock. Send you into aftershock. When the lights come up, open my eyes, and suddenly I realize the deeper I dig into her soul, the faults are clear. What have I done? This can't be true. Not ready for this magnitude. Looking for an exit sign. I'm out of here. Oh, there's something lurking. Won't let them fool me. And when the mask comes off, it's gonna send me into aftershock. 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 Send you into aftershock. Who did I think you are? I look for the highest stars. Try searching into your heart. You're tearing yourself apart. Na 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 na. Hey, yeah. Oh, there's something lurking. Won't let them fool me. And when the mask comes off, it's gonna send me into aftershock. aftershock, aftershock. Send you into aftershock. What's looking deep inside of you? Not ready for this magnitude. It's going to send me into aftershock. No, not this time. Fool me once, fool me twice. Send you into aftershock. Looking for an exit sign. Not liking what you had in mind. It's going to send me into aftershock. Yeah, I was blind. Suddenly you realize. Send you into aftershock. There's something lurking. Won't let them fool me. And when the mask comes off, it's gonna send you into aftershock. Yeah. Baby, baby, send me send you into aftershock.
I've heard that song a million times. And once again, it was amazing.
Thank you. Appreciate it. What? What am I supposed
Mike
to be
was so
doing?
far
right
away
now?
from your mouth.
Oh, is it?
I
No,
was
it's
like,
not.
you said thank you.
It's not. Okay, here, let me try again. Thank you, Caroline.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So what shows do you have coming up with your band, the Jacob Larson Band?
Well, I'm glad you asked. So on November 23rd, that is actually Black Friday, so day after Thanksgiving, we are playing a show at Live at Jack's. It's in the Denver Pavilions on the 16th Street Mall. And we're playing a happy hour show. We're playing 5:30 to 8:30, and that's a Friday. Well, it's Black Friday, so obviously that was redundant. Sorry. Again. So yeah, we're playing 5:30 to 8:30. It's gonna be an awesome band. Yeah, that's our next show, and then we have one more in December on December 12th. That's a Wednesday at the same place, Live at Jackson. And that's it for the year. And then we're currently booking. We have a lot of festivals in the works, and some radio stuff that's gonna happen next year. And
Ooh.
so I'm excited. Yeah.
We'll have him back on the podcast when that all goes down.
Great.
If we're still friends by then.
If we're still married.
We're still married. Well, thank you so much for having
That could have turned into really bad.
Thank you so much for coming on to the
Well,
podcast.
thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Oh,
Thank you.
Love you.
I love you too. I'm very tired right now. Sorry. I don't know if I should say that. Probably not. You might want to cut that out. Edit. Use that trim tool. But yeah, thank you for having me. This is fun.
Of course.
Glad to have you.
So, final updates for today's episode. Keep up with our New Song November progress if we're still doing that. We're recording this fairly early, so maybe we have fallen off the wagon.
Yeah, you never know.
But that'll be on Instagram at Caroline Stump, and
At Megan Rose Music,
go follow us.
please.
Also, you can now listen to our podcast on YouTube if that is more convenient for you. Please go over there, give it a like, subscribe, leave your comments down below in the comment section. Are we going to become YouTubers? Who knows?
Hopefully not.
I really hope so.
All right, well, bye.
Bye.